It's finally done. The initial release of every remaining Dimenzone is complete. Now I can jump back to working on other things, like the rest of my dust-covered recorded playthroughs of Guard.
Just a sec. I'd like to propose a question before you fully shift gears there.
Yeah? What's your question, Retroid?
You've put a lot of work into the musical components of them all, but I feel there's something missing from it.
What do you mean?
What exactly is a Dimenzone supposed to be? As in, lore-wise, what are they?
That's the part of it that I didn't really think too much about. I don't remember if I ever came up with anything solid down the line, if any real thought towards it in general.
Well, you now have yourself a whole 20 different locations with a variety of monsters each. There surely must be something that can ground it all.
Even if I had some semblance of an idea like that, it would probably be somewhere deep into my mind by now. I'd have to conjure up one heck of a brainstorm if I want an answer I'll be confident in solidifying.
That may be true, but what if we take, say, a different approach to that brainstorm?
What kind of different approach?
Instead of trying to pull for a faraway idea, how about we take ourselves right to it?
I am not following.
You know how I'm here right now?
Yes.
You know how I'm in your head, right?
Yeah?
Your mind is portraying me as an entity that you can directly interact with. So what if we use that same tactic to make contact with the deeper parts of your mind?
Are you able to do that?
Do you think I can do that?
You raise a valid point there.
Then let me bring you to... Welcome to the center point of your thoughts, the eye of the brainstorm.
Huh, I get it. That's why it's so quiet then.
Exactly. Your ideas are actively swarming all around this point, so you can access them all here and really focus on them in peace.
Did you have a part in setting this up or something?
That's a little too meta a thought for the introduction of this place, so let's circle back to that another time.
Good idea. Also, man, look at the difference between us right now. You're already on your second tablet drawn image, while I'm still with this lanky, Krillby creature. As much as I'd rather not say, that's a bit far from my IRL figure.
Well, if you've changed your mind, so to speak, on how your avatar there looks, here's the perfect opportunity to alter it.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. And actually, there's a couple ideas for changes I had anyway.
Alright, let's see it then.
I'd be remiss if I didn't tack on a henshin! And just like that, it's me, and better than ever.
Nice. I see you gathered the other favorites to join Krillby on this one.
Yeah, I felt it could make something pretty unique while also showing my love for... Why are you moving?
Well, I figured that since we're settling in for a potentially lengthy discussion, I'd do something else instead of just standing here completely still. Add a little variety to it all. Try it.
Alright.
Perfect. Now then, let's get back to the topic at hand. What can you make out of the Dimenzones?
The foundation of them is really mainly a group of monsters without much rhyme or reason. There are a couple that I gave myself restrictions on, challenging me to avoid certain editions. And I did make those facts during my 2025 Christmas event.
Did you ever officially establish that was an event, or did you just appear to run wild with the consistent uploads?
Shoot, you're right. I didn't even say anything at the end, did I?
Okay, you can address that in the video sometime in the future, but don't lose track now.
Right. Well, actually, I think that's as far as I really got.
Not even something from back when you initially started coming up with them?
Unfortunately, I don't remember the exact trains of thought I had at that point. But what I can gather is I used monsters I was able to replicate to the best of my ability with my old keyboard. And maybe the lack of structure that the Dawn of Fire Outer Islands have also played a part in that too.
About the settings of them.
That, I think, was probably any spur-of-the-moment idea I had. Maybe I had thought of a key to use first and considered what the best setting would be for it. Others may have been the setting first. It's hard to say. I came up with a lot of them way back when.
Why don't you tell the fine people at home exactly how many ideas you came up with?
I had initially planned over 50 Dimenzones. Of course, there were an amount of them that didn't have anything song-wise outside of what key I set it for, but the start was there. And by start, I mean a selection of monsters. Around the time I started making those, I just loved editing images together with this app that I have. And one thing I did a lot was put a planned group of monsters together on a background. I don't have most of those older pictures anymore, but I do have the last few. And I'll show the one for Odd. You wouldn't know just from the first update, but an amount of these monsters will not be showing up in the Dimenzone past this initial concept. But yeah, this at least helped with rough ideas for how the songs could sound in the future.
Narrowing it down from over 50 to 20 was definitely a good idea, I'd say.
That's true. Though I will say some of the former Dimenzones had enough work done that I decided to reuse them for other projects, so I still admittedly have a high number of total things in the works. But at least the concepts are a little spread out more. Some having more set structures than the Dimenzones.
Okay, that's probably good for that phase. How about we look at what they're like right now?
Well, these first update rosters do have a lot more manageable sizes, so maybe we could look at some stats for them, see if anything notable shows up.
I like the sound of that.
Bring in the bite background. Nice.
Nice.
We could start with the monster totals. And I'll also include the first updates for the first 5 Dimenzones too.
Here is the total count of each Dimenzone.
That would give a grand total of this many monsters across the whole series of first updates.
Next, the total ratio of classes.
The shortest and longest I have down immediately. Cherry Blossom is currently the shortest, and Enchanted will most likely stay the longest.
Here are the keys and tempos.
I only ended up using 11 total fan-made monsters, if you don't count Ace of Base appearing at all of the ones from this year. Ace of Base will be in essentially every one of my MSM fan songs, so I don't want it to skew the numbers.
Well, can you gather anything from all of that?
Maybe. If I wanted to take this completely seriously, I'd probably need to go back and fact-check all the established canon MSM lore, but we don't really have time for that right now.
In that case, I do have one more angle we can take on this.
What will that be?
What do you want these to be going forward?
Well, I mainly want these to show both my love for the series as well as music in general. I can try to increase the variety of monsters within them, the different musical aspects I touch upon and use them. And use them to also help grow my skills for other projects. In the end, I'd say these best represent how varied my mind can be in general. Sometimes I can find it hard to pick favorites, but there's always going to be some recurring elements. I try to find ways I can balance everything out, and I always love bringing things together. That's why I love crossover so much.
So what does this mean for the Dimenzones?
I guess there's somewhat of my own little places where you never know what'll be either the same or different from the last. I can't put exact words to it, because they're all a part of me. Maybe they're the world that it started as, and as everything else has worked and experimented on, they're explored more and more alongside it. Maybe the truth is we won't know exactly what they're all on until it's finished.
An ongoing journey that we're all in together.
And you know what? I could end up changing my mind somewhere down the line anyway, so I feel it's best if the answer is a bit more open-ended.
That is very fair to say.
Well, thank you for showing me this. I think it definitely helped me connect with them a lot more.
Hey, you're always welcome to come back here and take a think every now and again.
I've got to get going now. To anyone on the outside, it probably looks like I'm ultimately zoned out.
See you next time. And hey, maybe next time we can meet the others.
What do you mean?